Well, first of all, I normally get a vision. So sometimes it's either through meditation or even could be sleep or dreams. And I'll have a vision like, oh, maybe I want to paint some energy, like consciousness. So that's probably my abstract work, where it's like what I see as energy. I always feel that each angel, there's someone's higher self. So when I posted that on Instagram, I think someone saw it. They didn't see the love bit at the bottom. And they came to the gallery and saw it and literally just burst into tears. It just moved her so much. And that's, I think, part of the joy of painting is, seeing the emotive and the healing qualities that a paint or an artwork or, even like a piece of music can have on people.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of The Big Chat. I'm Coco, your host for today. As you know, we love to talk to people in our communities, particularly people that are inspirational, entrepreneurial, have started something different. Basically people that I just love to chat to, really. I like to share with you guys, my audience. And so this wonderful guest I've got with me today is someone who many of you will know because her work is just stunning, and she also has shared some incredible work of other people too. So I'm delighted to have on the Big Chat this morning Iaysha, and she is the angel and abstract artist. I mean, how beautiful does that sound?
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. It's nice to have you here at last. We've got a couple of your little angel prints in the background, and look, tell those that are listening, because some people will be watching, some people will be listening. Tell us exactly what do you do?
Well, I am actually a painter, and I paint angels and abstracts. It started as a child. Actually, when I was very young, I had a couple of guides, I'd say, or imaginary friends, but they, to me, are lovely beings, angels, and I just started my journey there from painting. I've always painted as a child, so it was never like I was going to be an artist, so it's always been part of my journey, and then I went on to open some galleries as well.
Yeah, just a few galleries, as you do. So how young were you when you started painting?
Well, I never owned a doll. I always had a paintbrush. As soon as I could hold a paintbrush, do you remember those magic colouring painting books?
Yeah.
That was my obsession. I loved them. Just put water. I mean, from probably about 3 or 4 years old. So for every present, I always had a craft or painting set.
Yeah.
I never ever really had any dolls or anything like that. It was always paints, and I've always just painted. I've always just carried sketchbooks and paint. So it's always been part of my life. You know?
And it's something. I just love everything you've done.
Thank you. The angels, I used to sign my name through birthday cards and everything with an angel. They've always been...
Did you?
Yeah, they've always been a big part of my life. But I never knew it. I always had this woman beside me from as far as I can remember, called the Lady. And I used to talk to my mum, no, but the lady said this. And
really?
Yeah, so I had this being, and I still communicate to this day. And when I was doing the galleries, it was lovely, sharing people's works, because I'm an advocate of the arts, and I love sharing and putting art out there. But during lockdown, it was when I really produced my work into prints and realized, people really needed this. Everybody wanted an angel, and I felt that was kind of my next mission, really. Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, I can remember. So you had a gallery in Tunbridge Wells, didn't you, more recently? And that angel print, I think it was the
angel of love. Yeah,
it was the angel of love. And I mean, I'm like you say, you always sign off. I always sign off with love hearts. I mean, I've just got, I sign everything with a little love heart. It's all about love in my head. So I just used to drive past, and I'd always be saying to Gary, we came in, didn't we, and had a chat with you, but I'd always be like, oh my God, look at that beautiful angel. It's just so beautiful. And the collection is absolutely stunning. How many pieces do you sort of tend to do in a collection, Iaysha? How does that work out?
Well, first of all, I normally get a vision. So sometimes it's either through meditation or even could be sleep or dreams. And I'll have a vision like, oh, maybe I want to paint some energy, like consciousness. So that's probably my abstract work, where it's like what I see as energy.
Yeah.
The angels are... Sometimes it's almost like a channel. I don't even know when I've painted them. Like the angel of love, when I painted that, I always feel that each angel, there's someone's higher self. Yeah. So when I posted that on Instagram, I think someone saw it. They didn't see the love bit at the bottom. And they came to the gallery and saw it and literally just burst into tears and ended up buying the original canvas. They'd never bought an original canvas before in their life. Wow. And they'd lost their mum earlier that year. I know. I mean, I was in tears. You know, once someone starts crying, I'm like there. And she just bought it, and she, it just moved her so much. And that's, I think, part of the joy of painting is, seeing the emotive and the healing qualities that a paint or an artwork or, even like a piece of music can have on people. It's such a joy to do that.
And and I think what's something that's really interesting for me when I came in to see you with my partner, and we've got very different tastes. Oh, yeah. Haven't we?
Yeah.
And it was really funny because you nailed it straight away. I mean, I was just talking to a previous guest about how that's a gift, being able to sort of see what someone's sort of style is, or what that, because you're really good at that. You're like, oh, you're gonna like this and you're gonna like that, and I'm like, oh my god, yeah, I love it. And then, obviously my partner's taste is very, very different. I don't know how that's going to work when we're living together, which is, going to be, well, pretty much are living together now. But as our art collection, because he's like wants to get more art and I want to get more art. But
yeah, I think I consult for a lot of people.
You do, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I sell rare prints as well, very much the secondary market. So, but I noticed with couples, I think the key is to just allow each person to have that piece of art, because if it moves them or if it means something and makes their heart sing, you shouldn't really deny that.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it really doesn't. And you usually find there's a left brain and a right brain going on. Some people like the more like fluidy kind of ephemeral paintings, or someone likes something more figurative. But you just have to listen to your heart, I think, and just follow that. That's I think the key for a happy art collection in a happy house.
In a happy house. But you do get literally drawn to, as you do with many things. And I mean, certainly that's you. It's almost like it calls out to you, doesn't it? A painting.
Yeah, but don't you find that with music?
Yes.
And it also can evoke a memory, a good memory. And you normally find people standing in front of a piece of art saying, God, I love that. And and it could be just the colour. And you'll find that they're wearing exactly the same colours.
That's something that's come up a lot recently with colours as well. And also with music, something that I've been doing with music is if I get into the car, if I'm in a bit of a funk, or I'm a great friend of mine, he did a playlist for me, which he keeps adding to all the time. And he's known me for 30 years, so he knows me very well and I've got quite eclectic taste. But I get in the car and I put it on shuffle and it will honestly, literally play what is going on in my head. The song will be in tune. There'll be something that will come up, or it will be a mood that I need to snap out of or get into, or I'm feeling. And the lyrics, it's fascinating, and it's just, very powerful. It's energy again, isn't it?
It's divine order of things, isn't it? Like the angels or your guide. I mean, your spirit guides are normally past loved ones. So if they want you to hear something or to evoke something in you, you'll find you either get a hunch, or you have to go somewhere, or you do something in that moment. Sometimes even when I'm painting, I just feel like, oh my God, I've got to... When I did the Angel of Love, it's so different to some of the other paintings. And that's what I find sometimes quite amazing, in the sense of how I did it. I did it with a lot of pencils as well. And I just really enjoyed doing it. And it was really interesting when someone saw it. And, I have that a lot with each painting, even with the pink one, the Mind Body Angel.
Yeah. I love, they're my two sort of favourites.
Yeah.
But I just love them all. I mean, I know our mutual friend Anna, she's got the orange one, hasn't she? Which I love as well. I mean, that would look great.
That would be actually lovely in here.
Already like thinking, okay, I could do that. But you can get carried away, can't you?
Yeah,
it's difficult.
I think don't we all? I mean, I love art. If you come into my house, I mean,
is it literally a gallery?
Yeah, I mean, some of it's not even on the walls. I mean, I did sell a part of the collection this summer, which I don't like doing, but it gets a bit silly. But I mean, I'll go somewhere, whether it's a little Tracy Emin or it could be a local artist. But I just love investing in local art. I love investing in creativity. I think it's so wonderful that people can still do these things in such a world that's full of technical and digital and just, I love crafts and I love painting and I love supporting the arts, or musicians and
so
stuff.
When did you start? When was your first sort of, did you start with a gallery, or did you start with painting and selling paintings, or how did your sort of journey start out, as it were, from the beginning? Not from when you were little.
No, I was actually a healer. I was, and a client of mine came, she said, I'm opening this gallery and I need and I said, look, I'll help you out a couple of days. And it was really funny because when I went along, she had an exhibition and she wanted to put some of my work in. And, there was an RA and there was, and I remember selling the whole collection, and it just blew me away. And then she wanted me to do more for her. And so I kind of, I think I was at the first affordable art fair, and I did Saga Insurance, and then I did corporate commissions. So it just started like that. I've always painted, but it was this lady that actually got me into selling the work. And, I never looked back, really. I've always sold it through my galleries. I mean, I did have exhibitions in St. Ives and other places, but when I opened the galleries, it was harder to find that time to paint and juggle. And I think that's why this year I've decided... this is really part of my path now, and this is what I want to do full time.
Is the painting?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, look how your face lights up when
I
you
just love it. It's like you spend a world of. It's like meditating with angels, and you're in that zone. I mean, anybody feels that when you're doing something that you love, that you're passionate about, whether it's running, exercise, music, you end up going into a zone, don't you? And you end up creating in your own way, whether it's you're an athletic person or what you do, it's
true. No, it's true. It's literally, I mean, it is, someone said to me yesterday, I did some emceeing for an event, and they'd said, it's really hard what you've just had to do there. And I'm like, for me, it's quite, natural. I still get nervous.
Yeah.
I still get anxious. Yeah. I think that's healthy. Yeah. I think it's healthy. I think to be humble. I don't think anyone should be like, oh, well, But, and I don't get like that. My team know I can get incredibly nervous before I do something, but it's the kind of nice nerves. But when I'm doing it and when I'm feeling the energy of people enjoying themselves, which is that environment, I love it. There's nothing better.
I think it's the same. When I was used to sell other people's works in my gallery, it was so easy. I could talk about it, sell it, loved it. When it comes to literally my work, I'm like, me? Who? Like, even though people are drawn to the work and they buy the work. I mean, it's so lovely meeting, that's why I love selling my work to the client itself. Yeah. I mean, I love seeing their faces and I love seeing the joy that a piece of art can bring, and the healing sometimes that it brings. It's, it's so rewarding. I guess that's why it's quite meaningful to me to see that.
And do you have people come to you sometimes and say, I've had this idea of something? Because I have a friend she sort of does art, she does little pieces. And so she did a couple of things for me that I'd sort of said to her, I was like, I really like this, can you do something for me? And she did that. And do you have people sort of come to you and say,
I get
that you really know, like, you're getting to know me over time, we've known each other a little bit, but you get to know people quite quickly or pretty switched on.
Into because of the healing aspect, I can read energy, and which has always been really lovely when I've done healing, and tuning what colours that people need in their auric field to heal a certain aspect of themselves that might be in the subconscious. So art has that powerful effect. So I do a lot of that, and I have done a lot of that. I've also painted people's like higher selves or higher wisdom. They're angels that will be with them. But also I get people, I have a lovely lady up, I think, or she'll send me literally the colour of her curtain, a picture of this, and ask me to do a painting that I feel would suit. She gives me.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that is lovely. To have that trust in someone, and obviously that's a lot of. But I try to take out the equation of getting it right. I think that's really important.
But that is so key, isn't it? It's letting go of the outcome.
Yeah, totally. As you know, it's a spiritual part.
Just letting it come.
Yeah.
Because the minute you try and control situations,
it's
goes
so true.
wrong.
Because when I'm painting, as soon as I start thinking, I put the brush down and walk away, because I don't want it to come from that part of my mind. It has to come from like my heart and head coherence. You know, that kind of that flow. Really, yeah.
It is, and then I think what's wonderful is you create this collection of beings and people and tribe. I mean, like when I did the studio, Hugh Whitaker, you know, bless him, humour streetised. I was like, just this is what I want. This is how I'd like it to look. And he was really, you know, he's very professional, drilling down. But I was like, no, I like your style. Just do it. Just which is lovely. Like you're saying, you know. And he's always, when he does things for me now, he's done a few things in my house for me as well. And I'm always like, no, just I trust you. I want you.
Oh, that's lovely. To do that for
I
an
feel that
artist.
way with him and with other friends of mine who are artists, and you know, would be the same with yourself, because I think when you connect with someone and there's trust there, then you're just like, you no, you go with it. You do it.
The best way to commission an artist is to give them sort of a little guideline.
Yeah.
But don't be. I mean, who wants to be sort of? You know, it's nice just to give them full reins. You know, guide them with the colour or where it's going to go, the size, even your budget. You know, if you're going to go and commission an artist that you love, but just, you know, try not to be too controlling on the outcome. You know, like you say, the outcome. You know, let go of any expectation.
So you're a healer. You're a healer. You're still doing healing. I mean, obviously you are through your paintings, but you know, you were doing healing for a while.
Yeah, I think what happened when I went in 91, I went traveling to India. Yeah. And I went to Australia. I was away for 4.5 years, traveling through, looking for the next party, because I left London and actually ended up living on an ashram in Rishikesh, the holiest city in the world. So I studied Vipassana, which is the meditation, and to me that was life-changing. Wow. And I had so many awakenings. I mean, at the time it was so funny because you had to give them, you know, your everything, your passport, your money, and you had to just let go of everything. And then I had, like, by the third day thinking, oh my God, is this a cult? You know, like, what have I done? You know, but honestly, by the 10th day, after 10 hours in silence for 10 days and 10 hours a day meditating, I can safely say that transformed my life. And then I went and I had all this energy coming out of my hands, and I didn't really know much about things then. And so it's been a journey since 91 of self-discovery. But I've always had this, I don't know, it's almost insight, vision and communications with beings, which I don't want to sound too woo-woo, because I don't want people, I always never used to
scaring
say
us people. Woo-woo. No, you're not.
I didn't share a lot with people. I mean, I would do healing on people.
Say what you like, Iaysha.
I did healing on a friend, and I remember looking down the thing. I think, oh, there's a lady in a white dress, and my friend was like, oh, and I said, yeah, it's like a white wedding. The man's blood, and she's like, oh, okay, and she sent me this, and she said, I got my nan and my grandma, and I said, and Spirit is saying white flowers, little white flowers, and I said, oh, I'm not going to say that, and she said, oh, it's got little white flowers, and she sent me this photo, and I was blown away.
And then was it what you saw?
Yeah, it was exactly the photo with the wedding dress. It was her mum. I kind of guessed it was her mum there. And so I said, have I seen that photo before? Obviously not. So it's,
but you had seen it.
In my mind somewhere. Yeah. It's kind of like just tuning into a frequency. You know, when you try and find a dial on the radio, the old-fashioned radios, where you had to you get the crackle, so you silence your mind. But that's always been part of my kind of journey, I guess. And now during lockdown, when I painted the pink angel, Mind Body Angel, I did it just to make people smile, and I put it in the gallery window, and it was sold within a week. And then Matt Sankey wanted one. That's what made me decide to do prints.
Oh, has Matt Sankey got one?
Yeah, they're sold
Matthew
out now.
Sankey. He'll tell me off for calling him Matt. Matthew Sankey. Has he got one of those?
Well, he was the one that inspired me to do the silk screens, and I thought, oh, okay, yeah. Why, you know, once you've sold the original, it's so sad. So it's quite nice to have, you know, it kind of going up. But it's sold out now.
That's the thing. It's like you want when I was driving past, I was just like, I was just getting pulled to it. But
that's lovely.
I don't think I was in a financial position at the time to have gone in there.
That's why I did Prince, because it's affordable, and I do believe everybody needs an angel, by their side. Hashtag everyone needs an angel.
Definitely, that's a very good hashtag.
And it is one of my hashtags. And I think also, I love the fact that these divine messengers don't have to come as big feathery beings that are going to land in your house.
No.
They can come as intuition, hunches. You wake up one day, I need to go and do that. And it's just listening quietly to that inner voice.
It is.
And that's how I think most people kind of sense them around. And they're multi-faith. There are no religions to angels. So that's quite beautiful, really.
I think it's that higher power, isn't it?
Yeah, the higher wisdom of the planet that makes the sun come up and go down. I mean, you hear we tend to complain about a lot of things, but we can sometimes just stop and be in awe of what's happening around us.
Honestly,
the changing of the seasons.
Totally.
It's like just.
I've been having this conversation this week with someone about the weather, because I'd sort of said, the weather wasn't very nice, and it was like, but above the clouds is the sun. Above the clouds is the sun. And actually, this morning, as I was
sunny.
driving to get to my daughter, I was like, It's raining, but it's
lovely.
It's nourishing. It's washing away yesterday. Yesterday was a not good day for me. I was done with yesterday. I mean, it was good bits and bad bits, but do you know what I mean? It was like I was done with that, and it washed away the day. And it's like, and it's giving all the nutrients to all the plants, and
absolutely.
There's so many good things that come out of the rain. Of the rain, and it's amazing that it's raining, and then the sun does come out, and so it's the way that you frame things, the way that you look at things, isn't it? The
way you look at what's that? I love that phrase. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
That is spot on.
I mean, that was Wayne Dyer. I really don't like the rain, let's be honest. But when I one day, outside my house, there's this like massive puddle, and I saw these two pigeons bathing in it. And I thought, we should be complaining because there's someone out there loving the rain.
Exactly.
Like there's loads of droughts and winters of droughts. So it's just, I think, being grateful, appreciative for the moment, isn't it?
It totally is.
Yeah. Living in that present moment and just is the isness of life. I love that.
The isness of life, and I think it is what you think is how you feel. I think there's a lot to be said for that. And if you go down the wrong rabbit hole, well,
and I know it's
hard.
so easy to do that, but that's why I think meditation for me is the tool. I mean, I meditate at least 1 hour a day.
Do you?
Yeah, first thing in the morning, whether my cat's calling me or not. I have to do that, otherwise I feel pinched off. Like,
how long do you meditate for in the morning?
An hour.
Do you?
Yeah, sometimes if it's a short one, it's 40 minutes, but. For transformation, if anyone's for me is feeling flat or low or off key, off center, I just say try it out for 7 days. What have you got to lose? 15-minute meditation. There's loads of free guided meditations.
Oh my God, I do minimum 50. This morning I was rushed. I only did 5 minutes. It was pointless. I do a minimum of 10 to 20 minutes in the morning, and I do at least half an hour every night. But I would love to have the time to do an hour, but it would mean I would have to wait. I was just about to say, I would have to get up at 5.
I get up at 5.
I would have to get up at 5. So I need to get my kids into bed earlier so I can wake up earlier, because that is the issue. It's when you've got those other things going on behind it. And I already have a bit of a ritual that I do in the mornings anyway. So it's but I love meditation. I trained with an amazing man called Alexander. I didn't finish my meditation training, but I started it with him. And obviously, being a yoga teacher for years, and mutual friends of ours like Nick Barrett and many souls like Lucy and Anna and all these people. Yeah. It's everywhere.
Yeah, Lucy Parker's amazing.
Yeah,
it's Flow Studio.
Well, Lucy does with Alexander Locke that I introduced them. Right, so he was my meditation. He trained me in yoga. And then went on
Alexander,
to do
I did because I did Vipassana.
He's wonderful.
And I did the teacher training with them.
Did you? With Alexander?
The reason why I did that, because of Vipassana, I think, and there's a Buddha's taught, you just sit down. But I think in the West, we always need to know why. But I actually find... So I did it just out of curiosity. What can you teach about meditation, you know, the science, I guess. But actually, you just need to do it. You just need to sit there and, I mean, guided meditations is the key if you're starting out. But I also think Eckhart Tolle, when he mentioned, if you don't have time for meditation, just stop and take one conscious breath or two conscious breaths. Just breathe down to the toes and up to your head. You know, if you're in a car or you feel like someone's triggered you, it is that thing of just taking that conscious breath and just becoming present in that moment, you know?
I love Eckhart Tolle.
Yeah, amazing.
And his voice is just like, I
know. Some people can't stand the voice.
I love his
voice.
But
I think you have to be a certain vibration
to
resonate.
I find it really soothing when I listen to him. And it's not exactly a typically soothing voice. I do. That's it. I love, when we were training, we used to listen to a lot of his, you know, talkings, and I still do. And I mean, the Power of Now is just, I think anyone that hasn't read The Power of Now, get outside, look around you. I think the whole world, when they went into lockdown, had some experience of the power of now.
I think the most amazing teacher that I can say that I've worked with is a lady called Kumara Devi.
Okay.
She's based in the States, and by looking and listening to your voice, she can tune into the subconscious mind.
Wow.
And pull out energy patterns. So if you want to fast track, that's an amazing woman.
Goodness
you should look at her work.
Yeah.
So I've been working with her for over 15 years.
Wow.
I know. And she's based in the States. So we've had a lot of transformation. And it's not sort of, lovely. It's really going through the shadow side.
Yeah.
I mean, face the shadow.
I know, the shadows.
Without judgment, though. It just is,
Yeah. And your painting must be meditative for you as well when you're in that moment. I mean.
Yeah, I do find that. I find it was hard when I was running the gallery and painting. That's why I had to stop that, because I was always pulled. You feel your energy pulled in a different direction. So when I'm painting now, besides the admin, which is probably the...
we love admin.
Yeah, I think you're like me.
We love admin.
I just love being in that space of creating, because creating is what we're here to do, as we are all creators on some level. So, I've chosen the path of channeling the painting, and it's quite special playing with colour, playing with paints. It's like really like inner child work, isn't it?
I love it. Totally. I mean, I would really love to explore. I did
really great,
I did paint when I was younger, and poems. I wrote a lot of poetry and things like that, and I was into but there's just not enough time. Aisha, there's not enough time to do everything I want to do.
When you're an excited person or a very curious person like myself, I feel like you. I feel you, because there's so much I want to do. Yeah, and it's like that, being passionate about so many. I want to learn about gardening. I want to learn about this. I want to learn about that. And and sometimes it's just being grounded and choosing. And that's why I kind of focused on the angels, because I love creating and I love painting, and I think, I love to do this, and so, the calling was from the angels really to create a body of work, they're with their message, I
love that. So talk to me about some of these other prints while we've got them, some of these here. Come on.
So
let's show some of these.
This is stargazing, and
because this is beautiful.
These are my new mini prints, and they've got some lovely little neon pink seams.
Gorgeous.
So stargazing, this is also like the Watchers. I think it's from the Essenes. If anybody, I'm fascinated by the ancient civilizations.
Yes.
But, looking through the veil, and you can see, I don't remember painting a heart, but the heart appeared in the sky. So that's quite.
That's beautiful.
So this is the gift of light. So she's offering you light. So if anybody is needing some energy and some light, you can meditate with her, and
that's beautiful.
The energy, and this is like guardian. The wings coming out of. A lot of my work doesn't have a lot of. It's how I see angels. They come. They're in the energy field, so there's no defined wings, and it's just energy. And I have seen, the colours and the frequencies. So what other angels have we got here? These are my abstracts. That's Rainbow Bridge.
I love that.
That's taking the journey from into the physical, into the spirit, working from the subconscious. So it's a journey through the chakras.
Wow.
Yeah, the original soul. So these are the
I know. I'm looking at that one.
The print is it's quite a big print. So
is it? Okay. We know that we're needing big print.
And Cherish, that was created in lockdown.
I love that.
When you sort of missing everyone and you couldn't connect, and so this heart was
beautiful.
Really about that connection piece.
I love them.
Yeah. So
I just think and so now you've obviously the gallery. You're focusing on doing what you love the most, the painting, and so you've got a website.
Yes.
So you've got a website, so people can come on your website. Yeah. People like me can come on and we can buy your things from our homes if we want to. Absolutely.
I've got now my WooCommerce set up with the prints and stuff, which took forever to work out. But yeah, we're finally there. www.iaysha-art.com.
Yeah.
I also have got my consultancy on there. So, if anybody's in need, because I do find sometimes it can be, people have asked me and said, it's so overwhelming going to art fairs, buying art. Like, where do you start? How do I know if it's a good artist? So I'm always happy to offer free advice, free consultation by email or whatever. I'll try my best.
Brilliant.
And offer any guidance and that.
So they can contact you through there. They can get in contact with you, and Instagram as well.
Talking art.
You do.
I love talking art.
Because you have met some amazing artists, haven't you? And come on, roll some names off.
Well, it was lovely too. One of my favourite memories was Sir Peter Blake's 80th birthday party at the Royal Albert Hall. That just blew me away because it was so intimate and it was so lovely. But we had Paul McCartney, Ronnie Wood. I'd never been in such a great party. I think that was probably one of my highlights. But there's a lot of great artists that I've met, and a lot of contemporary artists that I think are brilliant. And so like people like Sarah Pope, Dan Baldwin, there's my friend Brendan Neeland, who used to be the keeper of the Royal Academy. They're just lovely. There's so many artists out there. I can't sort of start naming so many, but so I've had a really lovely time in the art world. I live, breathe art. I don't know. Yeah, it's just something.
You're a piece of art.
Oh, that's so sweet. So my darling. So are you.
You are. But it is. I think that's a nice thing that with your website though, that people can speak to you as well.
Absolutely.
Because it's good to have a chat. Because for me personally, coming and seeing you and talking to you, and like whether it's a gallery, whether it's your home, or whether it would be on the phone, I know the energy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or meeting you for coffee, you just got me. You were just like, yeah, that's a bit of you. And I was like, yeah, that's totally. And I love that. I'm really, that means I'm hopefully putting out my energy, my true energy, and someone's getting it. But it's also saves me a lot of time.
I think that's really nice. But it's nice if you know what you want and you kind of know what you're drawn to. But sometimes it's that confidence, isn't it, to sort of say or someone validating.
Totally.
And I think that's what we sometimes need when we're choosing a piece of art, is that validation, and I think there's so much art out there now with Instagram and I have an Instagram account, and but it's nice having the website because I think that's clearer, as Instagram is what you're doing in the moment, your studio life. And I'm not very good at doing reels. If I'm going to sit and do a reel, I'd rather just be in the studio.
I'd rather just paint.
Yeah, exactly.
Just paint. Just have someone, just have your camera set up and
I'm always available for people to have a chat. I love it.
But that's lovely because I did actually go into a gallery once recently. I won't name it, but I'd seen a painting I rather liked. It wasn't yours gallery, obviously, but I'd seen a painting I rather liked, and I was thinking about it, but I was not quite sure. And I was like, "Can you just hold it for half an hour?" Because I was with my partner, and I was like, "Can you just hold it for me for half an hour? Because I think I'm going to come back, but I just need to think on it because I need to feel it in my gut. I need to feel it in my gut." And I wasn't quite sure, and they were quite prickly, and they were like, "Oh no, I'm sorry, we can't hold that for you for half an hour." And consequently, I didn't go back. It wasn't meant for me. That was fine. I let go of it because the energy that actually gave back to me, it actually made me just go, I'm not going back now.
Yeah, I do think it's all about energy, but I'm the same way.
It's very interesting.
You have to feel that flow. You have to feel that connection. You know, it really has to make your heart sing. But sometimes we're all nervous about making a purchase.
Of course.
You know, I mean,
give people space.
You know, I'm always in like two minds, and just say, yeah. You know, I always say to people, you know, go away, think about it.
Yeah, you do.
Even if it's a pair of shoes, you know, when it comes back to your
not so good with shoes.
But when it pops into your mind, or you wake up thinking about it, you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's something
that you really it is. It's your intuition telling you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I do think it's important when you're making, or I say to people, if it's an original piece, go and live with it. If it doesn't work out, bring it back. I would hate my artwork, someone looking at a piece of art thinking that's not right. I always say if it fits and you put it up on the wall and it looks as if it's been there forever, you know, then you know it's a perfect fit. Yeah.
You're gonna come round for dinner at mine one evening and look at the walls and tell me what's going to go on.
That needs that and that needs that.
I know.
I have gone round and actually changed people's art around.
That's
just for
good.
The flow.
I'm all for that. I'm very happy to take direction.
So curating space.
I used to not be so good, but now I'm very, very happy to take direction. I'm like, I like that. I like that. But I mean, honestly, everyone should check out your website. Everyone should check out what you do. And you've done so much in Tunbridge Wells. I mean, you've had a few galleries, and you know, so people, you've brought a lot of art and a lot of artists to Tunbridge Wells. So thank you for that. And it's just been lovely to talk to you.
Thank you.
And get to know you better and get to know your story. But I'm sure we'll see more of you. Maybe we'll get you on next time with some of your new collection.
You can see some of the art though in Thackeray's restaurant and the Spa Hotel. And so there's quite a few little
keep your little lookouts this Christmas.
Yeah, if you're out there in the restaurant or the hotel.
Absolutely.
But thank you for having me.
You're very, very welcome. And I feel very relaxed. I feel very healed, and I do need to get on your website. I do need to, because I'm definitely in need of some angels at the moment. So, well, I told you, didn't I? I gave my angel,
which was a lovely story,
to my aunt and my uncle for their anniversary. It was my angel of love for they've been 50 years. They've been. Yeah, and she's got it next to pictures of all of her family. So it was meant to be there, and it was weird because I'd not had it framed. I'd bought it, but it was like this. Like you say, there was just this calling in it. Yeah. Whereas sometimes I get things framed very quickly. So that's almost like a message, I think, sometimes.
That's so lovely. And it's so lovely when you hear about your art being passed on and someone else.
It honestly was like a gift for them. It was like it just come from you and gone to them through me.
What was really lovely at Natural Fit, a couple of girls that were working there, they were in their 20s, and they say, "Oh, are you Iaysha?" She said, "Our aunt commissioned you to do a painting for us when we were about 6. And they've had it in their bedrooms." And I was just so moved. I mean, this was from Blue Moon days. So that kind of moved me a little bit, like that they still have them in their bedrooms and they look at them every day.
Timeless.
Yeah, I think that's
timeless.
Nice. But it shows you what it has impressions on kids as well.
Definitely. I mean, my daughter would be all over, you know. I mean, I'd just cover everything with it, but I just get carried away. I just have to calm down a little bit. But listen, thank you so much. I hope everyone goes and checks out your website.
Thank you very much.
And I mean, what beautiful things people could get for people this year, you know, it is such a beautiful gift, I think.
Thank you.
I love giving art as gifts, actually. It's something that I really do love to do. Yeah, it's really, really special. So I think, honestly, everyone should check you out and what you're doing. And best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Just immersing yourself. And I'm gonna focus on an hour's meditation. I'm gonna try and get up at 5 and get an hour in me.
Yeah, I mean, most days I
can do it.
But I do understand you can,
No, but I like it.
You get in that zone, don't you? And it's like your day.
But then I was doing it, but then I'd fall back to sleep.
Sit up.
I know.
Sit up.
That's it. I do meditate sitting up, but I had a couple of times I laid down and I was like, I can't do that. Fall back to sleep.
No.
Too zen.
Yeah.
Too zen.
And I think you find your days different because life is always going to come at you. That doesn't change.
Oh, no.
It's how you react.
It's how you start your day.
But it's how you react to the things that come at you. And I
think
meditation can change that.
Some silence is golden sometimes. I've learnt that one.
Yeah.
Just take a pause, take a breath, sleep on it.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, absolutely.
Honestly, it's like tomorrow's another day. If I can get through today, tomorrow's a new one. But in a very positive way. It's been lovely to see you, my love. Thank you. And everyone, just enjoy this wonderful lady's work. Thank you so much.